In the depths of the Aegean Sea, there is a habitat that only few have ever seen, far below the surface. It is constantly under threat, mainly by destructive fishing practices. Together with the local communities and an international team of scientists, the Archipelagos Institute of Marine Conservation has worked for almost 20 years to reveal what lies beneath the surface and finally protect these ecosystems. The coralligenous habitats are found in what's known as the mesophotic zone, the zone of dim light between 70 and 250 meters depth. Very different to tropical coral reefs, they form structures known as marine animal forests. They grow only a few millimeters per year, and some are estimated to be over 7,000 years old. The first evidence of these formations came from local fishermen, as for years, coral fragments were accidentally brought up in fishing gear. These findings encouraged scientists from the Archipelagos Institute to investigate further. Early research depended on fishermen's knowledge, sonar data, and basic camera systems, but the depth of the habitats made direct observation difficult. These complex underwater landscapes act like marine forests, providing shelter, feeding grounds, and nursery areas for over 1,800 species. Scientists found soft corals clinging to the slopes and sea pens forming colonies on soft substrates. As technology advanced, more and more information was collected. Each survey added a little more detail: new species, fascinating habitats, and areas already destroyed. Soon, it became clear that preserving these hidden biodiversity hotspots is essential for the survival of marine life and local communities. But in several areas, signs of destructive disturbance were spotted. Once biodiverse structures had been flattened and turned into a lifeless seabed. As the most destructive fishing practice, bottom trawling doesn't just remove fish. It will destroy the slow-growing habitats, right where this amazing marine life thrives. Among the most fragile inhabitants are black corals. They are slow-growing species that could live for centuries, but are highly sensitive to physical impact. Once these habitats are damaged, it may take hundreds of years to recover, if they recover at all. After identifying the most promising locations, Archipelagos researchers use sonar surveys and remotely operated vehicles to visually explore the seabed. For some key sites, our partners at Under the Pole supported the effort with specialized deep scientific diving. By combining new technology with fishermen's local ecological knowledge, Archipelagos was able to document and map extensive coralligenous habitats between 60 and 150 meters deep. The evidence was clear. Those habitats still surviving are threatened by irreversible destruction. In some areas, coral forests were still thriving. In others, the seabed had been flattened and stripped of life by bottom trawling. This impact is not new. Local communities have lived with declining marine ecosystems for decades. The threat was already documented in a 1960 report from the same area of the Aegean Sea. For over 20 years, rules existed on paper to protect vulnerable seabed habitats. But in deep waters, protection is difficult to enforce when the exact location of these areas is unknown. This is why seabed mapping is essential. In collaboration with the Municipality of Fourni, local fishers, and scientific partners, the Archipelagos Institute finally identified the coralligenous habitats around Fourni. This led to a major milestone in June 2025. After decades of hard work, a 430 square kilometre no-trawl zone was designated around the Fourni Island complex. For the first time in Greece, these coralligenous forests have a clear legal boundary. But that is only the beginning. Effective conservation requires enforcement, local cooperation, and the resources to support patrol vessels within the protected area. The Fourni no-trawl zone over coralligenous now serves as a pioneering model for the future. If we succeeded to join forces to locate and protect these important habitats here, we can apply the same approach elsewhere in Greece and in the Mediterranean, mapping what lies below and halting the destruction of more coralligenous habitats that have not yet been discovered. This protected area shows what becomes possible when conservation is guided by scientific evidence and strong local cooperation. Our next target is creating an enforcement mechanism for Fourni that will ensure that this new legislation is applied in action and not just another promise in paper. Protecting these habitats of international environmental importance means protecting biodiversity and the productivity of our seas, food security, livelihoods, and the fragile balance of marine life. For the Archipelagos Institute, this is not an endpoint, it's the start.